Hey everybody, wanted to show you a little bit about this game update 38, just a couple of things that you can expect right off the bat. 6 mods already in there. These aren't experts or anything, but this is all 92 gear with the tier 6 mods in it. If you're curious as to what stats you can reach with those, I thought I'd show you those. So this is a straight DPS, 4470 might, 1968 CR 106. Now these are precision and might in the red sockets, might and power in the yellow, and might and health in the blues. So if you want to mod more precision and whatnot, by all means go for it. Now the next thing that I want to show you is this little dealio right here, the teleporter. If you go down to your base, and to any of you that watch the live streaming already know how this works, you have these white mods. They're for your teleporter. You can find or buy some of these here on the test server. I just bought these, but you'll be able to find them and stuff when that goes live. And you simply just select it and put it in one of the slots. Now you only have 4 slots, and as you can see, I have Wayne Enterprises, Union Station, Robinson Park Reservoir, and the Superman statue. Now with the teleporter, instead of going to the watchtower or my other base, those are givens. You can teleport to any of those different things, different places. Also, I'm sure some of you noticed, and this was not covered in the live stream, these mods here. You have blue sockets, yellow sockets, and red sockets. Now, currently on test, these are not stacking, they are overwriting, so it's only counting 1, but it is supposed to be fixed to where these stack with each other. So for each socket you can put in a different mod, and it gives you a little bit of a stat boost depending on the mod that's in there. Now if I wanted to replace this might expert mod with this other might expert mod, it overwrites it. I do not get that back in my inventory. And as you can see, here it is right here. This cost $31.25, marks a triumph, and once installed in your generator you gain 16 might. Now they have V6.2 ones also in the Gotham Under Siege. I don't have any of those on my inventory right now, so I'm not sure of the stat increase, but it's not a huge increase. Once you get it to where they all stack, it's going to be a little bit more substantial. But with the V5s, you're looking at, if it was all might, an extra 64 might. Now what the precision is, I'm not sure. It's probably comparable, so it's not a huge bonus or buff. Every little bit helps though. Alright, now this is an electric character. Figured I would go ahead and show the new mechanics with that. Let me warp to the watchtower and go down to the war room for some of the testing dummies, and I'll show you a couple of different aspects.
I don't know if reverse engineering the case was such a good idea. Did its fun, 12 zip. But last of us said he was sure that part was not our time. Well, the board seems to disagree. Fine. Then let's move away from him and check out the other lodge members. What do we know about Holmstrom? Holmstrom. We know he's dead. That's a good start. I'm serious, Sean. I was in that lodge making contacts.
Alright, so nice sparring target. Now for weapon mastery. Let me turn the volume down a little bit on the settings. That's a bit better. Alright, so I have the brawling and the martial arts. I like to play ranged. This is my loadout real quick. And this is strictly a DPS. I haven't played much with the healing aspect of the new mechanics and whatnot, so I can't give any real opinions on those. Arc lightning electrifies enemies now. There's still a couple of bugs with it, but they're working on it, I'm sure. Electro Genesis is one of the mechanics that you want. It says add an electro charge to cause damage over time, increases damage by 45%, yada yada yada. This is a must if you want to use the new mechanic. Voltaic Bolt is also a must. It increases the potency of electrocharged effect on electrified enemies. So in order to use the new mechanic, you have to have something that electrifies, and then either Electro Genesis or Electro Burst. One of those two powers is a must. And then Voltaic Bolt. Now you can use Electro Genesis, Electro Burst, and then Voltaic Bolt. The rest of the powers are up to you, your choice, whichever ones you want to use. So for ranged, I go with Electro Genesis. If I was doing melee, I would do Electro Burst. If I wanted to use both of them, you can use both of them, but it does restrict you to the melee range. Alright, so let's go through this real quick. I'm not going to do any weapon mastery, just to show you the pure numbers. So Arc Lightning to electrify. Electro Genesis. Okay. Do it over here then. And Voltaic Bolt. So Arc Lightning, Electro Genesis, 205s, Voltaic Bolt, bumps that up to 450 to 550, crits around the 900 range. Now you can refresh this dot with Voltaic Bolt to keep it going. Now if you notice that the ticks seem to have gotten a little bit smaller. Some of them do in the 300s, the low 5s. They don't crit quite as high now. You can also stack it 3 times. Adding Electro Genesis again, now you've got 2 dots. And now 1 bigger dot. That does normal damage, 7, 8, maybe 900. Without it being electrified, Voltaic Bolt does not put any dots on anything. If you use Electro Gen, Voltaic Bolt, it does not increase the dot. It has to be electrified first. So you have to electrify it, then Electro Gen, then Voltaic Bolt to get the increase in the dot. Refresh that as needed. Throw another Electro Gen on there to get it up to 3 stacked dots instead of just the 2. Sometimes that doesn't work quite right. It's still a little buggy, but that's how it's supposed to be working. Now, if you like, you can throw that guy on there but this restricts you to close range. If you're far away, still in combat, didn't take much changes. If you're far away, the electro burst will not hit, so it's a melee range kind of a thing. As soon as I drop out of combat, I'll switch the powers, and now that I'm out of combat,
It may be the rage talking, but if I had it to do over again, the day my Tori came home with you, I would have told her to go right back out that door and come back alone. That's what I should have done.
okay, so if you're far back, it's not gonna hit, it's not gonna do anything. Much faster cooldown than Electro Genesis. So if you're meleeing, you have to electrify. That sets up the dot, and then voltaic bolt. Now you can set up the triple dot with this faster. You should be able to. It's not putting another dot on there, so I don't play melee, so maybe that doesn't work like it does with Egen. Alright, now if you wanted to use both, electrify, Egen, and a dot. So you got two of them, combine them all. So 2 dots up to 3, and you can refresh that. Now using this in combat, you should be able to refresh it indefinitely. But if you're just pumping this one power with some weapon attack combos and such, it'll get kind of tedious. So use your own rotations, mix it up. That's what this is supposed to let you do. Mix up your rotations. That way everyone's not using the same cookie cutter aspects. Me, my rotation. Alright, so that's what some of the numbers look like. And that's not using the trinkets or any flex or Nutricolas, nothing like that. So, I hope you guys like what you saw so far. They'll get some of those bugs worked out. This works pretty good in the new survival mode, but it doesn't work with Weapon Master. You saw the effects and whatnot, but there's not any extra crits when you're using Voltaic Bolt. Now, when I'm using with that, you'll get some crits off of those, but not with Voltaic Bolt combo. It won't crit off of that. Just as a side note, Arc Lightning hits very nicely with Weapon Mastery. It is one of my favorite powers. So if you do not want to use the Voltaic Bolt loadout and use full Weapon Mastery, I would suggest going down the amperage tree. All of this stuff works off of polarization, no electricity, or I'm sorry, electrified or electrocharged powers. So if you're not wanting to use the new mechanic, this is going to be your preferred tree. If you want to use the new mechanic, you're going to put a lot of points into this. You have to get Egen down here, you have to get Voltaic Bolt down here, and then you've got these guys. This is your Electro Burst for the melee. This is one of my favorite powers now. They all work so well. Will it keep up with Rage and Celestial and Hardlight, the supposed big three? I'm not sure. I play mainly on the PS4, and I've got a 103 Rage DPS who puts out a good chunk of damage. Very nice rotation with him. If you watch some of my other videos, you can see it. Not sure if this will keep up, but there's only one way to find out. Wait for it to go live and do some experimenting. I hope you guys like the video. If you have any questions, feel free to post. And thumbs up if you like it. Alright, have a good night, everyone.